Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Roster Roast. I'm Run 7. How you doing? We grade on 5 things. Who you're using, their power levels, their placement, their ISO weights, and what kind of mood I'm in. And today we're doing SoverMan's War Defense. Last week we were supposed to do SoverMan's War Defense, and we actually did Anton, so we're trying to make up for it today. Team number 1, Shield, Coulson Fury team. Okay, I'm looking this team over and it's looking pretty good. I like the placement. You can swap Fury and Medic if you want to. That way you're always making sure Medic gets the energy so she can revive Coulson if Coulson dies. I like Assaulter in here. This is a good setup, good placement. Everybody needs to be Raider though, including Nick Fury. You could keep Healer on Medic, but everybody else needs to be Raider. Even your tank, yeah, even Shield Security should be Raider. He's like one of the last to die with so you don't need Fortifier on him. Power levels are kind of low for this team. Anybody with Brotherhood 1 or 2 is going to come through here and crush these guys. They're not really a big match. A better version of this is to take Coulson and put him on the Inhumans team with Squirrel Girl in there. You can also put Medic in there too, but Squirrel Girl keeps him so that the Brotherhood can't come in and blind them all. So this is pretty good. I like the team. Yeah, nice red stars. I think you should farm these characters up a little bit, but it's a back burner farm. There's lots of other stuff to do, but they're easy farms. So work on that. But yeah, I'm going to give you a B for this. Probably should be using a better team, but you know, you're early, so it's fine. It's low power level. It's something in there. At least you're doing everything right with that team, other than the ISOs need a little adjustment. Team number 2 is the Mercs with Shuri and Killmonger on the team. This is pretty good. I think you should change your placement with Riot Guard and Merc Lieutenant. Otherwise, that's good. You should have Skirmisher on Taskmaster, and you should have Striker on everybody else except for Shuri, who gets Healer. You want those 3-hit combos. Taskmaster is going to be dealing lots of damage. See if you can't maybe get another red star on Taskmaster. I'm turning this music off right now. This is horrible. Wow, we're gonna go sans music today for this video. Where was I? Yeah, so the ISOs need to be fixed. Swap those 2 people. Bring up the power levels on Taskmaster, either by farming him or getting another red star on him. Otherwise, the team's looking pretty good. I like this one. This is actually one of the better defenses that's left in the game. It still has some hard counters, but it's better than Emmarauders right now. Emmarauders are just getting trounced. Okay, I'm going to give this one another B also. I don't like the ISOs. You need to switch one placement around. All right, now we got Hydra Red Skull team. Yeah, this is looking good. You could swap some people around here. You need to have your taunting tank there on the end. Was it Armored Guard? Armored Guard on the end, followed by Red Skull, followed by Sniper, followed by the other 2 in any order. ISOs on this team don't matter so much. I kind of like putting like Healer on all of them or Fortifier on all of them. I actually like Fortifier on Red Skull. I found it's really frustrating if you come after this team with power armor and Red Skull has Fortifier on him. By the time you get around to Tony's ult, he's got so much barrier you can't quite kill him. It's really frustrating. So Fortifier is actually becoming a pretty good one for this team. It is kind of a garbage team. There's a better offense to be used with Red Skull, Grenadier, and Zemo and others, and that's Hydra 3.0. It works really good on a lot of things. So this team's being taken apart by the bigger alliances and used elsewhere. So, as I said, ISOs don't matter so much. Your placement is off and your power levels are pretty low. I'm going to give you a C- for this team. I think you should just break them apart and start building a better offense team with it. Team number 4 is the Technerva team. This is actually an old school team. It's still pretty good, though. You're using characters that you've got power in that would normally just go on the bench. That being the Guardians. The Guardians are just no good anymore, but this is the best use of them. Vision can't stick anything. It's unfortunate that he goes on this team, but that's just how it works. And Minerva is actually better used on the Emmarauders right now to defend against the X Factor. Then they can't bring in multiple man if Minerva's there. She heals too much with the multiple man setup. So if you have a big Emmarauders team, I'm not sure where they're at, but you might consider taking Minerva over there and breaking this team apart. But otherwise, this is actually pretty good. You've got the right placement. You've got Striker. You need Striker on Star-Lord. Skirmisher, and Healer. Okay, so Striker on Star-Lord, and that'll be right. Don't invest any more power into this team. It's just not worth it. You can invest in Minerva, but not anything else. I'm going to give you a C for this team. It's just nothing to get excited about. You're really close to having it set up just right, though. Ah, Doc Ock and the Sinister Six. It's a good team. Used to be, this was the exact setup that you wanted and the correct placement and everything looks just right. Your ISOs are just right. Except now we're swapping out Mysterio for Vulture or Green Goblin, your choice, whichever one you have the most red stars on. Mysterio is a liability with the symbiotes. They can feed off of his summons when he dies. So you need to get him off of the team, and then you need to get Rhino next to Doc Ock so that you can kind of cleanse in case some blinds are thrown around on this team. That helps prevent Supernatural coming in here and doing things. And you can swap him. I would swap Rhino in position with Electro because she's the squishiest. Or no, I'm sorry, Swarm, because Electro is the squishiest. You want her getting the deflex from Doc Ock. So just swap these two here, Swarm and Rhino, and then swap out Mysterio for whoever you have the most red stars on your other Sinister Six team. ISOs look good. Power up Doc Ock. Just like take him through the roof. You can take him to Gear Tier 15. He's great in DD4. So take him all the way up. Don't hesitate there. Yeah, otherwise looks pretty good. You know, this version of it is actually a solid A, but I need you to change out this version because it's just not good enough anymore. Symbiotes roll over it. So I'm going to give you a B for that. Black Order on defense. Last war, we came across a team that had a huge Black Order in every single section of room. Every team. Every player had a huge Black Order, and it was an absolute nightmare to face. Normally you find a handful of them on defense, but that's okay because we keep a handful of them on offense. So if you want to use this on defense, it's fine. Your defensive positioning doesn't matter too much. Everybody likes something a little different, although I prefer having Thanos next to Cull Obsidian. That way Cull always retaliates. Normally people are coming after this with a Black Order. I guess Shadowlands and even X Factor can now punch across easily on this team, maybe even punch up a little bit. So yeah, placement's fine. You went with Raider and see Striker on him. You could put Raider on Cull Obsidian, but Striker works too. Skirmisher, yeah, you want to go level 5 Skirmisher with him. That way no one's bringing in a Phoenix team. With the level 5 Skirmisher, that 50% focus boost on Ebony Maw will make everything stick. Striker Skirmisher combo there, it's looking pretty good. Power levels are okay. You can bring up your Thanos a bit. Thanos is good in other game modes for other things, so don't hesitate to bring him up. I'm going to give you an A- for this team. Personally, I like using him on offense. Just depends. If you're getting enough offensive attacks, then great. Whoops, I'm on the wrong monitor. Here we go. Let's try this monitor. That's better. Oh, we're at the end of here. Okay. Yeah, Wave 1 Avengers. Good placement. Yeah, I like that. You got Thor really powered up. That's nice. He's the one who does all the damage on this team. This is going to be formidable. This is your best defense so far. You could put more power into Hulk. He's also a real threat on this team. Good red stars on Hawkeye. Unfortunate red stars on the rest. It'd be nice if you had 4 reds on everybody. Let's see. Striker Skirmisher on the pair. You got healers on your big tanks. And I think you should put Raider on Thor. He does a lot of AoE and splash damage or chain attacks and AoEs. So put Raider on Thor. Striker works because he is the damage dealer. But you're only setting up... Yeah, you're only setting up one vulnerable at a time, and that's with Hawkeye. So You need to have him as a raider to set up more vulnerables to play off of. That's the only real problem right there. Otherwise, this is a really good team. So I changed that one ISO. Let's give you A- for that. Nice work. And I got to do one more team if I can get my mouse in just the right spot. One of these days I'm going to have to adjust this. Okay, what's Emma at? Emma is 4 red stars, 5 yellow stars, 97,000. She's looking pretty good. Interesting placement, because your 7 red star Sinister is so big. I think you're putting him in between Emma and, or you're putting him in between Mystique and Sabretooth there. What, maybe protecting Mystique? I'm not really sure. It doesn't matter so much. This is the one where you're going to want to take and swap out Sabretooth for Minerva so that she can protect against that X Factor team. Excuse me. Your Strife is not big enough. He's an absolute liability for this team. You need to be dumping resources into him big time. He should be the average power of your Sinister Emma combo. So yeah, you need to have him up to like a 120. Otherwise, this is pretty good. You don't need to change placement. The ISOs are good. Strife's one of the few tanks I like with the fortifier on it. So this is looking pretty good. Yeah, build up the power levels on your Strife, because otherwise this team folds pretty quick. I'm gonna say a B+ on this. It's really important that you power up Strife. That's a definite downer for this team. Okay, so this was SoverMan's true roster roast this week. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button, leave some comments below. Sometimes I read those, you never know. If you want to join us on Twitch, I'm here every Thursday morning, 9 to noon Pacific time. And remember, don't just have a good game, be good to each other too. Thanks, bye.